Hello everybody, it's me Pierre here, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys what screen door effect is and what LCD versus OLED looks like through my editor, because I noticed my editor has some really cool things to show this. This is Movavi Video Editor 2022 on Steam. I got it on sale, whatever, that kind of thing. But yeah, this is what it is right now. And I'm going to be showing you through the editor. I don't really recommend this editor, by the way. I do have a negative review on it only because it crashes if there's videos over 30 minutes long, a lot for some reason. And if you name something that it doesn't like it being named, it will crash or freeze. And it's very annoying, and I can never get it to fix, but besides the point. We're going to be showing you guys what screen door effect looks like. I can't remember which one it was in. There's a really cool overlay that I'm going to show you guys what screen door effect looks like. I think it's this one, but hold on. It won't look like this. It's not this extreme, but give me a second. So, let's take it, thin the lines. I said thin the lines, please. Make it really, 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 really thin here. Maybe like a 10. Maybe a 15. So if you're on like something like a Valve Index, unfortunately I can't make them narrow. They're not as thick like this, the black lines. They're thinner, but they're still noticeable, right? If you're on a Valve Index, one of the older Windows mixed reality headsets, I'll get to the CV1 and OG Vive in a second. That's worse, but if you're on anything like I said, like the Valve Index or the Vive Pro, you're gonna notice a screen door effect like this. Will it look just as high quality? Let me put this in high quality mode because it will probably show up better. No, it didn't really make much of a change. Anyway, it'll look like this. A screen door effect looks similar to this. You'll see these small little black lines that go across. If you're a Valve Index owner that is watching this, or a Vive Pro owner, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. I have a Vive Pro. I would say it's similar to this, but the lines are thinner. They're definitely not as thick as this, is what I'm trying to say. And so, this is what screen door effect looks like. Now, if you're on a CV1 or a OG Vive, it would probably be more extreme, kind of like this. A lot worse. Again, the lines would be thinner though, but there would be a lot more. They wouldn't be as thin as the Indexes or the Vive Pros, but they will be much noticeable, much bigger. You would see them just a lot more all over the screen, just massive screen door effect here. If you come from the HP Reverb G2 though, or the Pimax Crystal, any of those other VR headsets that have a really high resolution, or the Big Screen Beyond, you would have more like a screen door effect, kind of like this, 1%. Well, not with the Pimax Crystal, the Big Screen Beyond, it's a lot less, but the HP Reverb G2 looks more like this. Now, you can kind of see it, you can kind of make it out, and they're a lot thinner than this. You can kind of see it. If you squint, you'll see it. See if I get rid of it, if I put 1%. If I could go lower than 1%, I would, because it isn't as noticeable as this, trust me. You'll see it. It's like a slight screen door effect there. You can kind of make it out if you squint for it. If you don't squint for it, it looks more, and if you really don't pay attention, it actually does feel more like this, without the lines. But yeah, it's more like 1% here. Is if I could get it there, 1% there if you're doing the HP Reverb G2. If you're on a Quest 2 or a Quest 3, you'll get around probably 2%, slightly more, because it's a little less resolution than G2. Again, you have to squint to really look for it. That's with the Quest 3, but if you come for the Quest 2, it's more like this. The screen door effect, 3%. But again, you have to squint and you have to look for it. For those three headsets that I mentioned, the Quest 3, Quest 2, and the HP Reverb G2, you have to zone in and really look at it if you want to find the screen door effect. Now, let's take this away for a second, and we're going to bring up the Quest 3 and the Quest 2 and the Quest 1 and the Quest Pro. because we're gonna show what video compression looks like, which I have a good way of showing that too. This is transitions, whoopsies. I have a good way of showing that. I forget exactly which one it is. Which one did I use? Was it these ones? I don't want to go too extreme. Hold on. Because what one was it? It was one of these. It wasn't that. You know, we're gonna use this, but I think I could dim it down, right? I can dim this down? Yes, I can. Video compression looks more like... Don't worry about the blur. I'm not saying it makes it more blurry. It does, but it doesn't make it super blurry. So screen door effect is... Not screen door effect, sorry. It's more like this. So 2% looks about right, yeah. With the Quest 2, you'll get a noticeable effect there. You get basically really bad compression, and this shows it like this. It's hard to explain. So see how it goes from clear, and then if I move it up 2%, it gets more blurrier and more blocky? Yes, if you look far away, that is. If you're up close, it doesn't look too bad. It looks more like this, 1%, up close. As for further away with the Quest 2, and by the way, I'm talking about wired, by the way. This is a wired connection. It looks more like this. Quest 2 video compression gets really bad over time, and sometimes it can cause a white screen of death. Half the screen goes white. At least that's my case for my Quest 2. And it gets really bad over time. With the Quest 1, I heard horror stories. I never really tried a Quest 1 hooked up through a cable. I used it wireless by one of my friends, though. My friends at least tell me it's much worse, so I'm going to say it's more like 4%. With the Quest 1, you're getting like this if it's through a cable. At least you can use a Quest 1 wirelessly, right? Was it a Quest 1 I even tested? I don't even know. It's been... since it came out. The last time I ever used a Quest 1, and it was once, was when it was... Was it wired? I don't know if it was wired now. Anyway, the Quest 1... looks more like 4% or 5% video compression. That's what the video compression looks like. And it gets really, really bad over time, and it starts to really make you not like it very much. So that's about where the Quest 1 lands through wired. This is about where the Quest 2 lands when wired. As for the Quest 3, it's about the same as the Quest 2's wired. Video compression stays the same. Again, if you want to know what video with no video compression looks like, it looks like this. With video compression, it looks like this. When I tested it with my brother, connected through a wire, the video compression was really bad. I don't recommend using any of the Quest headsets wired, unless if you don't mind the compression or you're not looking for any of that visual quality. Then I can kind of understand why you want to be hooked up with a cable, especially if you care about your battery dying or not. But yes, with the Quest 2, 3, 1, whatever... it has video compression. Now, if you go wireless, it's going to look a lot like... Can I please get... I want to go lower than 1% because it does not look this bad. It's a lot less. So, okay. Can I go lower than 1%? Can I go like 0. No, I can't. Okay, fuck. Alright. Well, the best we got it is 1%. It doesn't look nearly as bad as this. I wish I picked a better picture, but what I'm trying to say is it doesn't look nearly as bad as this, but it does have a bit of compression still. Is it still nice looking? Do things still look nice? It's not as good as the HP Reverb G2, for an example, but it definitely looks quite good. It looks alright. It looks better than what the Valve Index can do, or what the Vive Pro can do, but if you hook it up through a wire, I think it's actually worse than what the Index can do and the Vive Pro can do. It's because it's such a low resolution that it's trying to upscale, hence why the compression is so bad. As for wireless, it seems to do it a lot better. So here's what it looks like with that slight compression and without that slight compression. It's not that big of a difference, I do want to make that clear. It looks more like this, but let's say, see my little hairpiece up here? It would look a little more jagged. So these sharp little ends you see here would look more jagged. but like the face would look fine and everything. So if I turn that back up to 1%, it's not as blocky as this. It's slightly blocky. But this is the best I can show you with the compression through wireless. So that's what compression looks like for the Quest headsets, and that's what screen door effect looks like for other headsets like the Valve Index and stuff like that. Again, you will get screen door effects still if you look for it with new headsets. So with the Pimax Crystal, you might not actually really see it with the Pimax Crystal. It's that high of a resolution, so you're probably never going to notice a screen door effect at all, even if you wanted to look for it. The Big Screen Beyond is like the G2, very similar there. If you look for it, you can find it, but it's a lot less than the G2. The Big Screen Beyond is better in that regard. A lot of headsets nowadays are starting to beat the G2 in visual quality, so the Big Screen Beyond definitely is nowhere near as noticeable with the screen door effect. But again, the G2 isn't either. You have to look for, like, I mean squint. I mean that. Like, you have to concentrate. Like, forget what game you're playing. You actually have to just concentrate if you want to see the pixels, the screen door effect, the lines. Now that we're done talking about all that, what does the Pimax Crystal and the Big Screen Beyond see then? More like this, actually. Pretty crystal clear image. Pretty clear. Same with the G2 again. It's very, 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 very clear. Now, I just realized the image changed there. I didn't know that that made it blurry still a little bit there. Maybe I could have did 0% of that for the Quest wireless. Anyway, besides the point. So with the Big Screen Beyond and the Pimax Crystal, you're going to see more like, let me find it again. I always forget where it is. I think it's Antique. Yes. Which one did I use again? Was it Narrow? It was Narrow, yeah. You will see more like this. So see how I had the G2 at 1% and see this? This would be more like this. Actually just 0%. I would go more like 0.1%. Like, it's there, but you're not going to notice it actively if you look for it yourself, is what I'm trying to say. You're just not going to notice it. So this is what I wanted to show. This is what I wanted to explain, because I thought this would be a cool little video idea of explaining what screen door effect is and stuff. But we're not done here. We gotta bring up the, what it looks like with LCD and what OLED looks like. Now, if you're on an LCD monitor, you're probably not going to notice that big of a difference, so that's why I'm going to try and mimic LCD through this. Alright, not on this, not this picture. We're going to do a pitch black picture, so okay, we're with a black background now. Now, what am I trying to show here that would be very, like, OLED versus LCD? So this might look pitch black to you on an LCD panel right now, especially if you have it in the middle. So I am going to full screen this, which I actually forget how to full screen. I think full screen. There we go. Now notice, I'm gonna turn off my camera for a second. I'm gonna hide it. Hold on. Now look at how pitch black that is if you're on an OLED. It's just your screen looks like it's off. Now, if you are on an LCD panel right now, you will notice that it is either glowing slightly with a blue hue or a white hue, because it's not off. This is what the HP Reverb G2, the Valve Index, the Quest 2, Quest 3, Quest Pro C is very bloomy looking. LED panels are a whole different story. That's going to be hard to explain. QLED is different. It's very similar to OLED, but let's say if I put my mouse on screen right now, right? You will notice, if you're on LED right now, my mouse right here, since it has a white border around it, there will be a big bloomed circle around it with LED. So, since this is pitch black, on QLED and on OLED right now, it'll probably be pitch black. As soon as I put my mouse on here, LED will have a giant circle around it because it turns off individual backlights. So therefore, since the backlights can't go small enough to make this mouse glow only a little bit, it tends to glow the area around it as well. So it's similar to LCD. It will have a bloom following the mouse around. Now, if you have VA panel, for an example, my mouse right now will be smearing a bit on a black background with the white. You'll see that the mouse looks like it's smearing a bit. Kind of like my monitor. My monitor is a VA panel. But besides the point, we're not talking about VA panels because I don't think VR headsets have VA panels. We're talking about OLED versus LCD versus QLED. So like I said, with QLED, you'll notice a circle, a bloomy circle that either glowing with either a bluish tinge to it or a white glow around it. One or the other, depending on the QLED monitor you have. As for LCD, this whole thing will not be black. It'll either be gray or it's glowing with a blue hue. Or you'll see some black backlight bleed, which means there'll be some parts of your monitor that will have lighter spots than the other. That is really bad with curved monitors, and that is also bad with VA panels. You'll most commonly get that with those. But besides the point, we're more talking about VR. So this is what you'll see in VR if there's a pitch black area. LCD headsets. This is how you can tell if you have an LCD headset. It'll be like this. A grayish, bluish hue. It won't be perfect black. It won't be like actual human eye, what you would see in the dark. It's very not realistic compared to OLED. Now, if you're on OLED right now, you'll notice it will be pitch black completely. You won't be able to see anything, which is a lot better in VR, especially if you're playing a horror game. And the thing about OLED as well, I'll put my mouse on screen again for this. So if you have LED, because I know there's some VR headsets that have LED, and I hope you're doing this on your computer screen because it'll show up better. If you have a QLED monitor right now, like I said, there will be bloom around this. If you have OLED, there will be no bloom. It'll perfectly be able to trace that white going around the mouse. And in the middle of the mouse will be pitch black, and outside of the mouse will be pitch black. But that white spot there, the white around the mouse, will show up nicely on OLED, perfectly, in the darkness. And if you have a low, a really bad OLED monitor though, or a really bad OLED headset, there could be a little bit of smearing like VA, but nowhere near as bad as VA because everything is still going to be pitch black and it's still going to look better. So I hope that was the best way I could explain it. I don't know if I explained it in the best way, but yes, that is what, there we go. That's what OLED looks like, and that's what LCD looks like, and that's what LED and VA looks like. Depending on the monitor you have, let me know in the comments below if it was pitch black for you. Let me know in the comments below if there was that hue. You could definitely see a hue. It could be bluish or whitish or grayish. Let me know in the comments below if you were getting that bluish, whitish hue on the whole screen, or if you're only getting that bluish, whitish hue with just the mouse on the screen. Because then that'll let me know if you have LED or LCD. As for OLED, everything would have just been pitch black, and the only thing that you would see with the mouse is that white outline on the mouse, without a bloom or anything. That's what's the difference between OLED VR, LCD VR, and LED VR, as in QLED VR, which is stand for quantum LED. LCD is stand for liquid crystal display, and as for OLED stands for organic LED, as in an OLED display, organic LED. which is able to individually turn off each pixel. So that's the difference between monitor and, I guess, VR technology when it comes to different display technologies. And that's what screen door effect looks like, and that is what video compression looks like. I hope this was pretty accurate. This is the best I could really make a video on for it. This is the best I could do for you guys, but I hope this was good enough. And yeah, let me know what VR headsets you guys have in the comments below. And also, if you were watching this on your monitor, which is the best way of viewing this right now, I hope you weren't seeing this on an actual VR headset. It would be a lot better if you watch it on a actual monitor or a TV. I hope you guys were able to make out the screen door effect in the video and stuff, and I hope you guys can see the difference between video compression, what's compressed, and what's not compressed. And so far from my knowledge, the only couple of headsets that have the compression are the Oculus headsets minus the CV1 and Rift S, and the Pico headsets. I don't know about the Vive Focus and stuff like that, but maybe they have compression as well. I don't actually know. But that's the difference. That's what you guys could see versus video compression versus screen door effect. And I personally prefer screen door effect over video compression, but I definitely prefer neither of them over just a good resolution like the G2, which again, if you're busy playing a game and stuff, and even if you're just sitting there looking at it, you're not going to notice the screen door effect. So that's why I love the G2 so much. If you're going with an Index or a Vive, now you know what you're looking at when it comes to a screen door. At least that's the best I could show it without a through the lens video, because if I do a through the lens video, I don't have the camera tech for that. I have an S22 for that. It's a phone camera. It's not going to pick up through the lens very well. I tried, which will be in another video as well, just like this video. So you're getting 2 tech videos in a row. Anyway, this was Pira. Stay cool. Hit that like if you liked, hit that dislike if you disliked. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit that bell icon so you don't miss any more of my content. If you guys want to know more about screen stuff, let me know. If you want to figure out what screen you have, again, just watch this video. Like, you made it to the end, so you should know by now. Again, if it's VA, there'll be smearing. If it's LED, there will be a blueness around the mouse. If it's OLED, it'll be pitch black. And with LCD, it'll be like a bloomy mess on the screen. It'll be very bloomy. Depends on the bloom. It'll be either gray, white, or a blue hue. Because it can't really produce proper black colors. Anyway, this was Pira. Stay cool and stay the fuck out of my fridge. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.